back from the break, and we're talking about things that are actually good for you that your mother said was bad. Sorry, moms, we'll pre-apologize to you. But really, Tom, when you think about it, our grandmothers and our mothers actually thought that they were good. We just kind of going through a time here to where we've demonized these things like salt and eggs and cholesterol and saturated fats and even chocolate and coffee, to where we've kind of put the onus on them as far as all our health problems. And in reality, it's the fact that our food is deficient in nutrients. We're not eating the right types of foods. We're eating way too many carbohydrates, way too many complex and simple carbs. So it all goes back down to the nutritional deficiencies, all of these other things. But I want to get into the last 7 minutes here of the show. I want to talk about what we've deemed activities that were deemed necessarily not good for you, but now we know that are good for you. And at the top of your list, and I find this interesting because at the top of mine is a nap. You were told, don't take a nap during the middle of the day. Let me tell you, I love my little cat naps, 15, 20 minutes. Resetting now, is it possible, Tom, for the body in 15 or 20 minutes to reset to that degree? I mean, to me, it feels like I can take 15 or 20 minutes, and it seems like I've taken a 2-hour nap, just enough to shut down and kind of reset to some degree.
I always think of when I was a young man, I went to Florida, and Thomas Edison moved there more or less to die. And his doctors up north said he didn't have much longer to live, so he thought, well, why not go to this climate? So what did he do? He went in the sunlight every day.
Yeah.
He started eating fish, seafood.
Yes.
So he got the sunlight, he got the seafood.
The good fats,
He wanted to get the most out of his life, so he would work a lot. But he'd be so tired he would take some naps. Mm-hmm. Well, I think he outlived like 3 doctors. So anyway, he lived in his 90s. And, I just always remember that because here we go. Here's this hopeless man and doing these simple little things in life. It extenuated his life, and it just changed his life. And it can do that for all of us. I personally try to. It's hard, people, but even if, let's say you can't nap, go to your happy place. I tell people, do a breathing exercise where you breathe in through the nose, hold, let it go out of your mouth, and relax. It's some things we learned.
It just shut down for a bit, basically, is the whole...
Go, call time out, turn off your cell phone.
Yes. And just take it quiet. Absolutely.
10-15 minutes, right?
I agree. And one thing we've determined as well as stress is actually, some stress is good for the body. It's not necessarily bad at all.
It's like taking a break. You're not getting rid of your stress altogether. You're just taking that little break. And those people tend to be thinner. Yeah. They tend to be more energetic.
Yeah.
So it's like sort of the opposite of what we heard.
What we've always told. That's exactly right. And I rebelled against it when I was a kid in elementary school. Remember, in kindergarten,
yes,
I didn't want to take a nap. I'm like, I want to play, but now I want to take a nap. My kids are going, let's go play. I go, I'm going to go take a nap. So, but the one thing that as well is that another thing that I thought was real fascinating in this list that we came up with is eat all your food, and that's the one point that you wanted to try to make here as well. We, especially in the South, being in the South, we see someone and a kid is overweight, and we go, isn't that kid healthy? No, he's not healthy. He's overweight. And so eating all your food, your mother used to brag on you, oh, this guy's such a great eater. In reality, the only thing that we found, Tom, that actually extends life, that actually helps to lengthen life, is lowering your calories, lowering your food intake, not increasing it. So eating all your food or eating this massive plate of food is not necessarily good. In fact, the bulk of my clients, I got them on small meals throughout the day. I think that's a better way to eat, is like 3 or 4 times, 5 times a day, as opposed to one big meal. But eating all your food is not always the best way, is it?
But I always look at, let's give the kudos to some of the organic farmers and things. The genetic modified plants,
GMOs, right,
have less nutrients in them. So they grow so fast they don't even have time to draw in the nutrients. And the other ones are so sprayed with chemicals they don't have to build up an immune genetically.
Yes.
So number one, I would go towards that. But then yes, the people that live the longest, generally, if you fill their plate up, they're going to leave about 30% of it on the plate. So, that old thing where my mom said there were starving people in Africa, and, it's like, maybe you should ship them the 30% you got left, Todd.
And then in turn, again, that's what I think the overeating comes from to some degree, is that we're basically overfed and undernourished. So I think people who are overweight are looking for love in all the wrong places. I think it's an emotional thing, number one. They're eating for emotional reasons. And also, too, the body's constantly calling out for more nourishment. Yes, I have calories. Yes, I have what I need as far as energy, but I don't have what I need as far as nourishment.
Well, they're feeding their nervousness, their anger, their depression.
Emotional.
Their depression.
Yes.
It's hard to... And I tell some of my patients, it's like, drink some water, because sometimes you think you're hungry and you're just thirsty. So I always say, how much steak and potato do you have to eat to get a glass of water? And I'm like, you better try that first.
Just try that, exactly. Yeah. And then calm down, take a breath. You always want to make sure that you're not stressed when you're eating and all that as well.
I say pray. Your digestion goes up 25%.
There you go.
Say thanks, Lord.
Absolutely. That's a very good point, because you're calming the body down and getting ready to receive the food, as opposed to choking it down like we do in our society so much of the time. So eat smaller meals, eat all of these things that you normally are not told not to eat, from salt to chocolate. We're bad. We're bad today, Tom. But literally, folks, these things that we're finding now, all of these things we talk about, will help you, not hurt you. So tune in next week. We'll talk more about controversial issues, I'm sure, Tom. And we appreciate you joining us, folks, here on this edition of Understanding Your Health.